Good evening everybody. I'm Rahul, and this is the April edition of the Culture Colloquium, so welcome to this. As most of you would know, Culture Colloquium is a way in which we're trying to bring people outside the scientific world and trying to expose people in the TIFR to the much wider world outside. And of course, today with us we have Dr. Phani Tetali, who is a professor at the Industrial Design Center in the IIT Bombay. Now, Phani Tetali is he's an experienced animator, an animation educator. He's also an illustrator, and he's been having a long experience in working in the animation and the gaming industry in India in the past for about 28 years. He has experience in setting up his own companies, and he has also served in various positions in other companies over the past. Professor Tetali has also been honored with many things. One of them would be he's been the jury of the FICCI BAF awards committee in the past, and he's also been on the expert panel of the Andhra Pradesh state to formulate the animation policy of the state. Without any further ado, I think I'll just invite Professor Phani on the rest, and you can probably listen to his talk today. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, finally I'm done with linking everything to my Aadhaar card. Took me some time, but yeah, everything, my card, my coffee cup, my underwear, the Himalayas, everything. I'm thrilled to announce that our political party has managed to achieve 100% transparency. We will be conducting an inquiry on those conducting an inquiry, on those conducting an inquiry, on those. Wow, look, a rupee coin. I didn't believe it when they said the Indian rupee is falling. Water found on Mars, they should first find water on the earth. I would rather have you face books instead. The only way anyone can win a majority is if they rename their party Nota. When they promised 24/7 electricity, I didn't realize they meant 7 power cuts every 24 hours. It's time I started with my IIT JEE preparation. दिल के ख्वाहिश और अरमान के घूंट पी के चली मेरी मोहब्बत मेरे इशारे पे इश्क के वास्ते. Oh my God, is this the name of a movie? Now which one's for which? This is something that I face all the time, of course. Then I stopped watching TV or doing anything that has a remote. Yeah, I'm a cartoonist. Sometimes it gets difficult. Sometimes it's fun. I find that in India, we have wonderful opportunities to be a cartoonist. India is fantastic. They say that if a place is wonderful, there's no need for a cartoonist, right? So they say that if it's everything's happening right, everything, there's no need for complaint. There's no need for a cartoonist, right? So a cartoonist, as a cartoonist, what I do is just observe things that are going on around me and just put it down as a thought. It's not that I want to really improve the system. If I improve it, I'll run out of a job, okay? So I really don't want to improve the system. I just want to look at what's happening and just comment on it and have some fun in the process. and hopefully have a couple of laughs in the process, right? So that's my name. And this is me when I was a kid. I used to draw a lot. I used to constantly draw. I don't know what. That seemed to be some kind of an obsession. I used to just take a pencil and draw all the time. And this is me now. Right, I still draw. I draw a lot. Sometimes I draw up to 8 hours, 10 hours. And if I get more time than that, I draw up to 14 hours a day. It's some kind of an obsessive habit, right? So, yeah, through the years. And as an animator, I'm sure you people must be knowing about it. We have to draw thousands and thousands of pictures to get a film done. So I'm kind of used to that. And even when I'm attending meetings, like I'm attending a faculty meeting that's happening, and I'm sitting and drawing my colleagues, right? So some people get a little annoyed. They think I'm not paying enough attention, but actually I am. The more I draw, the more attention I'm paying, actually. And that's how it is. So I have a collection of faculty meeting drawings, which I hope to publish someday. Right? Yeah, I did my BTech in mining engineering from IIT BHU. I don't know. At that point of time, everybody else was doing BTech. My dad was a professor in IIT Madras in physics, and so I thought I had to do something in engineering too, just because of that, right? So I had all my friends who were kids of other faculty members, and they all had to do engineering. I don't know, or medicine maybe, but just one of these two things. And so I wrote JE, and unfortunately, I don't know, but maybe looking back, there were some good things in it too, but I happened to get through JE. But those 4 years were really fun. Okay, I had made a lot of good friends, hostel life, you know how it is, and I just kept drawing a lot of cartoons during that time. And I used to have a wall magazine I used to put up cartoons on props and students and hostel life and all that, and just put it up there. So that's how it went. And immediately after my BTech, I did get a job. I was posted somewhere in Dhanbad, very close to Dhanbad. That's actually just inside the border of West Bengal. It's a place called Asansol, and it's a very big coal belt. So I was placed there, and I used to travel to various other places like Dhanbad and selling explosives that were used in mines, right? So that was my first job. I hated it. I don't know. I'm sorry to all those guys who are selling it. They might be liking it, but I didn't like it. I had to draw all the time. This is me drawing around 2 kilometers under the ground, somewhere in Bihar, right? And one of those days, what happened was I was sitting in a dhaba, coming back from Dhanbad after a full day, coming back to Asansol, and then we stopped at a dhaba, and I saw a newspaper up there, and an advertisement for an entrance exam was there in the newspaper. It was for IIT Bombay. I saw that they were talking about some creative things out there, some masters in design, and so I decided I'm going to write that test. And luckily enough, I got through, and I did my master's at IIT Bombay between 1989 and 1991 in visual communication. Well, after that, a whole lot of things opened up for me and it was fantastic. I don't know. I found a huge difference between an engineering school and a design school. Okay, this was the first thing that hit me. Like for example, in an engineering school, we sit something like this. Right? There's a teacher and lots of students sitting in front. There's some kind of a hierarchy, right? But it's not like that. It's something like this in a design school. They sit around the table. And it's like in kindergarten, right? In kindergarten, you have people sitting around the table. And that's when I think children are at their most creative, in kindergarten. And after that, we forget about that. And then we get into this kind of seating. Just look at all the classrooms. We sit like this in school, in college, university, everywhere. And then here it is different. In IDC, we sat around like this. The teacher being one of us, like all of us sitting at the dining table in the family, right? It was like that. That was a wonderful thing. And another wonderful thing that happened was, like mostly sciences or engineering, because I come from that area, I might be wrong here, okay? If there is a question asked, the general expectation is that everyone has to give the same answer. That's the general expectation. You might have arrived at that answer probably smartly, differently, but you all arrive at the same answer, right? Which was completely different in design. A question asked, each one could come to their own solution, and nobody's wrong, right? And that hit me a lot. I mean, that was really, really fun, because I knew I was never going to be wrong, all right? But I could be silly, but never wrong, all right? So these two things really made me gain some confidence in a design school. But of course, I had my other classmates coming in from places like JJ School of Art, Delhi College of Art, Shanti Niketan, the topmost art schools in India, and they were my classmates. And we were asked to make assignments involving art, and those guys would like kill it. The way they made their presentations, I just lost confidence there. I knew I had to do something about it, right? And that's when I went on a journey. I'll just take you back a little bit about myself, and then explain a certain project that I started out with, right? So this is where I was born. A small little, it's near a small village in coastal Andhra Pradesh, right? And these were the places that I went to for studies. And these places I went to for, a job, right? And apart from that, my own travel, I went to various other places. If there's anybody from the Northeast, I'm sorry, I'm going there next week. Right? I haven't yet been there. I haven't had an opportunity to go to the Northeast. But these are the places that I have been to in India so far. Not bragging, but I'll tell you why I'm showing you this. Yeah, I said I was born here, right? If I had to put a red dot to where my wife was born, she was born around 50 kilometers away from where I was born. 100 kilometers, let's say. But if I had to put a red dot, it would probably be at the same place, right? So they're very close to each other. But then there are so many differences in the way we speak Telugu, okay? In the way we call different things, the way we have our proverbs and these kind of things, that we usage of Telugu, in the food that we eat, what we eat first, what she eats first, there's a complete difference in just that one dot over there. Our kids tease us, when I call something, and they say, oh, you're from West Godavari. and then she's from Vijayawada, so Krishna district. So there's so much difference in just that one dot. And so you can imagine this, right? there's so much diversity, so much, and at the same time, there's something that's binding all of us. So this fascinated me, and this led to a project that I thought I'll do, right? I called it India, lots of people, lots of fun, and it's, of course, you can say that it's a temporary name, but India's full of people, right? The reason why I started out on this project, this is a doodle I did sometime in 1994, I think. And after that, I thought this would be a nice idea to probably draw a few more drawings on this and start developing it as a project and things like that. But then various other things happen. You know, life happens, right? Life comes in the way. And then started taking up a job and taking up a loan and trying to get money coming in. And so this went into the back burner for 20 years after that. All right, this project. And again, sometime in 2014, and at that time I wasn't in India too. I was in Singapore on a sabbatical. So I had some time for myself. Okay, so yeah, I thought it's a nice idea to start out on something. I was really passionate about this project. You know why? Because India has many people, right? Many people. Hmm? Different kinds of people. All sorts of people. What do you want to say? Many different kinds of all sorts of people. Lots of them. Lots and lots of them. Over 1 billion people, right? Over 1 billion people in India. And you know what? They're not just people. They're stories. All of them are stories. Each one of us has a story. We carry our stories in a backpack that's invisible and we go around the place. Okay, we don't realize this, but we just carry our stories along with us wherever we go. Each of you, each one of you must be having a nice, beautiful story to tell. So my idea was to see if I can draw as many people and tell as many stories that these people are saying. So that's how the project started, right? Obviously, each one of these drawings took a lot of effort. Sometimes even 60 to 100 hours or 150 hours each drawing. So, but it did take a lot of effort and sweat, and I thought I should be telling this story. Let's look at India, right? Anybody from Bombay? Amchi Mumbai? Yes. How are you? They say that it'll be too crowded right now. Don't go to VT. Go at some other time, right? But it's always going to be like this. I call this drawing Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Right? I hope the drawings are clear from where you are. They're not cracking up, right? Okay. This is the other station on the way to VT. My father came to Bombay once when I was a student in IIT Bombay, right? So I thought I'd show him VT, and I took him there. And he was, you can imagine he's somewhere in the middle of here. Notice this guy's trousers are fallen. So there are many people who have no control on things happening to you. I have a friend who traveled all the way from VT to, let's say, I can make this up, right? Okay. Let's say till Ghatkopar without his feet touching the ground, touching the floor, right? He was like crushed in and pulled up, right? So he was there traveling. He didn't have to hold on to anything. He just going to be there, right? So So my father actually, he said, hey, listen, when train came in, he said, let this go, we'll go in the next one. There's no hurry, just going there to see things, right? So, and we let that go, and then 2 minutes later, another one came, and another one, and another one. Then half an hour later, we were taking a cab and going to VT. So I had to come back and draw this. Yeah, where are you? I'm on my way, stuck in traffic jam. For people who haven't been to Bombay, please go there and take a boat ride. Right? Go to the Elephanta Caves. You'll love it. Stand there in the queue, in the heat, sweating it out. That's the real fun of Bombay. A slight close up, made for you. I call this drawing a peaceful evening in Juhu. Right? Everyone comes back home and they say, okay, let's go to Juhu beach. आज चलते हैं, अभी चलते हैं, कोई नहीं आएगा. Right? Let's go there quick. So, unfortunately, everyone thought of the same thing. But it's fun somehow. It's crowded. It's crowded, but we make the crowd, right? It's really fun in Bombay. You just keep hitting each other. You keep rubbing. So this, that, yeah. In fact, there's a movie out there behind called Khoon Kabaddi. That got released just a few days back. Right? This is Bangalore, anyone? From Bangalore? I can see one somewhere there. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, seriously, Bangalore was a lot of fun. It used to be like a place, a resort place, right? Cool, hilltop type of atmosphere. Maybe in the 70s and the 80s, we had to go there, wear a couple of sweaters. Unfortunately, if I had to move from here till that boat there, it's going to take me 45 minutes. That's what Bangalore has become right now. And this is a scene where there's a movie just got over, and all of them are coming and adding to the traffic on the road. The movie is called Accident Ho Gaya Rabba. But then Bangalore is contributing in so many ways. Right? These are our IT engineers we're also proud of. They're waiting for the bus to pick them up and take them to Electronic City. Right? So this is on the old airport road, Marthahalli. Right? Hyderabad. Anybody from Hyderabad? Right? So yeah, of course, now they've built it and there is some metro going on from a few places. But then this promise has been there for the last 10 or 12 years, right? 10 or 12 years, I think the last 10 or 12 years, our lives were like upside down. And because of these metros that were being built, Hyderabad is a very unique place. I love the place, Hyderabad. I like Bombay. I mean, I studied there, grew up there also. I worked here, I stayed here for around 12 years in Hyderabad in my career. So, also family is from this place, so I'm at home here. I can call this my hometown, right? And there's something about Hyderabad. While so many things have been coming up and so many companies and this, we haven't lost that laid-back attitude. That's really nice. Sometimes it really feels good. Okay, like in Bombay, like we had to call a carpenter. We needed a carpenter to come and do some work, and it was raining. It was like, you know how it rains in Bombay, right? Cats and dogs. And it was raining so hard. He said, "Haan, 2 baje pahunch jaunga." 2 o'clock, guy was there. He knocked the door and he came in. In Hyderabad, I remember we used to say like, "Parso aata hai," right? And that person never comes, right? So, yeah, but still it's fun. The way he comes and says it and all that, he's so casual. He comes and starts his work. I love Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, yeah, in Hyderabad, it is something they catch on to, they just hold on to, right? Like this, when I catch है, अरे यहाँ सुनते कि हैदराबाद में नया कारपेंटर लोग आए, सब देखने जाते क्या? चल अपन भी देखने जाते क्या? I was really surprised the way IKEA caught on here. Good. This is in Kanpur. Anybody from Uttar Pradesh? No? Hi. So, in Kanpur, everyone, I don't know if you can get to see from where you are, but everyone in this drawing is angry. They're really angry because India lost a cricket match to Pakistan, and that too by 1 run, right? So, yeah. This is Varanasi in UP. I was there for 4 years. I did my undergraduate studies out there in IIT BHU. Fantastic place. Anybody from there? Oh yeah, okay. Anyone else has been there? No? Okay, right. So do you know that people go there to die? No? They go there and there are people who rent out their houses for a max period of 6 months. They expect you to die during that time. Okay? So apparently, if you die in Varanasi, you straight go to heaven. Okay. Now there are people who give their houses on rent. I mean, it's like a chart. And he'll give to 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, and there are people who come in and say, "Haan, main marne wala hu, ghar de de." And then it's going to be like 6 months, and it crosses 6 months, and the house owner is looking at this guy. This guy's still not dead. They ask him to move, right? And he has to vacate and then come back later. So they give more preference to people who are more immediately going to die. So that's Varanasi. It's a fantastic place. They have, I don't know, I can tell you stories about this place. Have you seen Sarkari Bhang ki Dukaan anywhere? No? No, yeah, no. Yeah, they have garment shops out there. Yeah, it's open. It's like you stand in a queue in the evening. They come there in the evening and stand in a queue to get those small little laddus, which you can put in milk, right? Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah. So Varanasi, I will never ever forget this place. Please go there, have a holy dip. It's been cleaned, the Ganges, by the way, the last few years. And I went to Delhi. Took some pictures at the Qutub Minar. Right? Nice place, actually. Of course, jokes apart, Delhi has some very nice associations. As kids, we used to wait for these black and white television sets to start off, and we had to hit and go up there in the terrace and move the antenna a little bit here and there to get the live telecast of the Republic Day. And the entire family used to come and sit out there, and it used to be really fun. Something that made every Indian proud of. So I had these associations with Delhi. This is a drawing I did while I was flying back from Singapore. I was there for around 6 months, missing home desperately. I was alone out there and doing all these drawings actually. And then for a long time I wasn't in touch with any Indian. I only had Singaporeans in my lab. And so I was totally missing the place. And then we took off. I was waiting for that day, and we took off from Singapore and then flew over the Bay of Bengal into darkness, right? And for a few hours. And then after some time, I get to see some lights in the horizon, and that was a fantastic feeling, right? So I thought I should come back home and draw this, right? So this is from that angle, and whoever thought of India without politics? I have to talk about politics if I have to talk about India. Right? Now this is, this is the season, right? This is the season. And as a cartoonist, I think this is the best season for us. Because we have politics, we have the elections going on, we have IPL going on, we have the World Cup coming up. We have quite a few things happening out there, and this is the time. It's like season for me. And this man, heavy, is busy campaigning. His election party symbol is the toothbrush. He had a neem stick as his election party symbol the last time he came for elections. So there's some progress. This is again in Delhi during Dussehra. A very nice thing that happens in India is festivals actually bond us together. We celebrate the same festival in different forms and in different areas, and it's really nice to see. There's so much diversity at the same time. There's something that's binding all of us together, and I tried my best to think about what it is. Right? One thing I thought was definitely festivals. This is in a building in Agra, and the entire building is celebrating Holi. Kerala, down south, they have this boat race that happens on an annual basis. I think this time or last time, when the floods happened, I think they didn't do this. Very sad. In Bombay, you have the Dahi Handi that happens. Many stories happening here. Many stories. And I love bringing this trouser becoming loose and falling down thing. So there are a few guys who are suffering from that out here. And there are also some love stories happening, various things. Dr. D. Manjan is the dentist around there, short for Dant Manjan. Right? So many things happening there. Again, the Visarjan. Nice as a concept, but over the last few years has been like really sad to see so many things happening to the water bodies around here in Bombay. So there are people who are constructing special lakes. It's happening a lot in Hyderabad also, right? So I think that's really sad, but well, that's the way we are. Looks like Calcutta, right? Anybody from West Bengal? All right. So many. Right. Okay. So yeah, fantastic stories out there. I really love the place. Some beautiful friends I have from Calcutta, from that part of India. Calcutta, Orissa, I mean, I really love it. It's just that I never got to go beyond that towards Assam, and I'm planning to go there soon. And it's going to soon be part of my collection, right? This is during the Durga Puja festival. This is in Gujarat. Uttarayan. Anyone from Gujarat out here? Oh, one. Yeah, Gujarat. So you see nobody on the roads during Uttarayan. Everybody is on their terraces, right? So these festivals are really fun to watch. If you're traveling, please don't miss Uttarayan. Take your camera along. Get as many shots as possible. Bollywood is another thing I think that connects many of us together. This is a film called Mar Dalunga, which was released in Bombay recently, and the actor and the actress and everyone, they're there for a press meet. This is Kabhi Khushi, Kabhi Gum. Cricket is another thing that connects us. I don't know. These are the things that I found that connect us, right? Cricket. entire families get together in front of the screen. There are kids who kind of dress up completely like Sachin Tendulkar. There's potato chips, there's everybody up there. There's also that one person in the family who hates cricket. Okay? But she's always sitting there with her book and kind of looking at the screen. And once in a while she'll ask like, hey, who's that cute guy? Right? So, this is our family. Our families look like this most of the time during the World Cup. In fact, I drew this during the World Cup. The IPL completely changed things. For people who have seen India before IPL, right? We used to play with a red ball, remember? Yeah. So from then to now, quite a lot of things have changed. Cheerleaders, 20-over cricket, it's completely changed the game and the texture of entertainment in India. So much cricket. They're tired. Players are tired. Give them a break, please. Give them a break because they're not just tired, they're confused. Just look at that. Totally confused. Queues. We're standing in queues all the time. This is a queue for kindergarten admission. The lady who came first is a lady who's still carrying. This is a queue for college admissions. A queue for jobs. And a queue at the pension office. Right, so we're spending all our lives standing in queues. There's always somebody who needed that just a little before we needed it, right? So there's always someone you find always in front of you. Some crazy things that happen in India, I'll tell you. Never buy tickets on Tatkal. Everybody's on Tatkal. Just go to that place and buy a ticket and go. Right? Everyone's thinking no one else is going to be there. And everyone's buying Tatkal tickets. So no one gets it. This is outside the cricket captain's residence. They won 8 games in a row and they lost the 9th game. So there's a big protest going on there. This is in Gorakhpur, UP. Anyone from there? Okay. Actually, nothing's happening here. They're just changing a street lamp. And the whole town is there. That's very typical, right? You try this sometime. You just go out on the road and just stand there and keep looking up. You'll have half a town there. This is outside the IIT Bombay campus. If someone's been there, we have to wait for 14 minutes to cross the road. And we get 11 seconds to cross the road. Okay? There are 5 roads. And there are vehicles coming from 5 different, because there are 5 roads, there are vehicles coming from 10 different directions. Okay? And you have to cross that in 11 seconds. And meanwhile, of course, this auto guy scratched that auto guy, and both of them got off their autos, and they started having a punch fight. And on this side, all the way till Andheri, on that side, all the way till Ghatkopar, there's a traffic jam. Everyone wants to go home, but they're all waiting for this fight to finish, and then to see who wins. Right? These are people waiting for their turn for an interview. There's one position available, and they're all waiting for their turn for interviews outside the job office. I don't know if you're able to notice, but everyone is on the phone. everybody is on the phone in this picture. And that's how we are now, right? I remember when I was in college, okay, it used to be like this. I used to say bye to my parents and then go and then come back 6 months later and say hi, right? So that used to be the communication. Now, maybe letters, where you could take a sheet of paper and write something and post it, remember? Right? So that used to happen once in a while, but I used to be too bad at that. So my dad used to send me something called a telegram. I don't know if I'm talking to a crowd that's not aware of it, but there used to be something called a telegram, where you kind of send telegram, please say a few hours. And I was too lazy to go to the post office and send back another telegram as a reply. So he used to send me something called a reply prepaid telegram. Okay, so he sends me a telegram, and the postman is waiting next to me, and I write my answer on that, and it goes back as a telegram. So he used to send me a thing called inform welfare, and I used to say, cool. Right? So that used to be the only communication that used to happen. And now, you leave home, and then, ये ट्रैफिक पता नहीं कब पहुंचेंगे कि नहीं. हाँ चलो मैं पहुंच गया, चलो हाँ मैं कॉल करता हूँ, हाँ सिक्योरिटी के बाद, हाँ सिक्योरिटी हो गई, हाँ चल, हाँ बैठ के अभी बोर्डिंग शुरू नहीं हुआ, अभी we're over communicating, which there's no need. There's absolutely no need for us, but we just over communicate. It's a very, very big change that I see that has happened in the last. This might sound crazy to you guys, but it's a very, very big change that I noticed, right? When I told this to my son, he said, okay, sure, I don't want to over communicate. He's staying in a hostel, right? So he said, cool. I said, no, man, this is not for you. You send me messages. This is how a family spends most of its time at home, right? At the same place and yet not at the same place. Well, a few more things about Bombay. Yeah. I'm not too sure about the quality of lives that we're going through as a cartoonist and as an observer. I feel, yeah, I'm lucky, probably I'm not part of that. But this is how most of us are, right? We can't deny that. And in Bombay, it's called the Bombay massage. Anyone knows about it? It's the Bombay massage, right? And you go in with paints, you come out without paints. A little bit about the people that made those crowds. I just wanted to zoom in a little bit to those crowds. And then you find very, very beautiful people. These are colorful people from Rajasthan. This is a beautiful family from Lucknow, celebrating Eid. The kids are thrilled, right? They didn't ask for a gift, they're just getting it. This is Mr. Parameshwaran. So he's from Chennai, he loves reading the Hindu newspaper, and he goes to Panagal Park in Chennai. Anybody from Chennai here? Yeah, he goes to Panagal Park. But these days all news is bad news. So he takes his newspaper there to Panagal Park, but he doesn't read it, he just comes back. Yeah, Mr. Anil Kumar. He has 64 lakhs more to achieve to meet the targets for this quarter. And he has 16 more quarters, after which he retires. He is looking forward to his retirement. This is Raj from Hansraj College, Delhi. He has 26 girls in his class. And all of them have tied in Rakhis, yeah. Shivani, that little Shivani there, that's her first day in school. So she's a little nervous and she's asking her dad, they're waiting for the school gates to open. And she's asking her dad, right, so how's school going to be? So dad sighs very deep and he just doesn't answer. This is Priya. Priya works at the Mumbai airport. She came up to me the other day when I landed at Bombay and she said, good morning sir, I'm your cab driver and do you mind if I drive your cab? I said, no, sure, please go ahead. So she took me to the cab and she started driving and midway through she got a call. And so the phone was ringing and then she asked me, is it okay if I pick this call? I said, sure, please go ahead. So she said, हाँ, मैं ड्यूटी पे हूँ. हाँ, कपड़े वहाँ रखें, don't do anything, just leave the कपड़े वहाँ पर. फ्रिज के अंदर कुछ है, वो बच्चों को दे दो, डब्बे में डाल के बच्चों को दे दो. मैं आती हूँ, वहाँ पर ड्यूटी खत्म हो गई. I thought, fantastic, Priya, you're handling a lot of things. I mean, you're handling job, kids, that and this and a cat. Hats off to her. This Chunmun, from outside Varanasi, a place called Bhadohi. He runs a saloon. Just don't go there for a head massage. Especially when India is playing a cricket match and we lost a wicket. Just don't go there. Mr. Mahalingam, who just arrived into the Trivandrum airport from Dubai, is wondering why everyone's looking at him suspiciously. This is Afzal from Moradabad. He's been a tailor, especially a ladies' tailor, for around 45 years now. His speciality, you can just look at the person and tell the measurements. And this is my student in IIT Bombay. When she greets me with this smile, I know that the assignment has not been done. So yeah, each one of us has a story. And I love trying to find those stories out in people. Okay, I love this, that I can take my sketchbook and sit down at some place and just draw, right? So I do that all the time. I sit in the canteen, I sit in office meetings, I sit in my classroom, and I'm drawing my students. It used to be the other way around. I used to sit as a student and draw the prof. So now I'm sitting as a prof and drawing students. It's fun, right? The tables are just turned around a little bit. But yeah, I thought I'd share a little something. Do we have the time? Okay. So, I brought it along with me. So, sorry, I was very pleasantly kind of surprised that I could get all these drawings together as a book. And there are publishers that are showing interest in publishing this, and I'm very happy to share this with you. It never started that I wanted to make a book. I was just doing drawings one after the other. And at some point in time, I decided I'm going to put all this together and let's see how it looks as a book. And once I did that, then there were people who started showing interest. And I'm happy that in the next couple of months, this book should be on the shelves. It'll be great if you guys can pick some, right? So that is that. And if there are any questions, I do have this thing about drawing every day. So I do post my drawings on social media, and if you are interested, this is my Instagram account, and I would love it if you guys can be with me on this journey, and love to meet several of you people there online, right? And if there are questions, you can ask me. Thank you very much. Can you put the lights on? You want to?
Alright, this is really wonderful talk from you. So, any questions from the audience? Anything at all?
Yeah, sure.
You depicted some very important pressing issues in the country, and you added kind of a satirical or a humorous touch to it. So, how difficult does it become? Like you have a really pressing issue, you have to depict it through your drawings, but if you add a humor or
Yeah.
in a fun way. So, how difficult does that?
Yeah, good question. Thank you for asking that, because it's not easy. I noticed that it's not easy to be a cartoonist, because you have many people who don't like your opinions, and they don't want you to come out with it. If you do, they make sure you don't come out with another one. I have had, because I also do political cartooning, and I've had messages coming to me from unknown people that sounded like threats. Okay, it's not easy, but then if one has to say something, they have to say it. If we, the educated people, don't say what we have to say, who's going to say it? So I think it's going to be tough. There have been incidents where cartoonists have just been shot dead, right? Bang! People came and just shot them dead. So yeah, I know. But then this is you're contributing to the society, is what I feel. I take it like that, and but yeah, it's not easy. If I've answered your question, yeah. Oh, thanks.
Curious about, have you noticed a decline in tolerance? Like, are people getting offended more? Is the funny bone diminishing slowly by the day? Because for me, it's the first time I'm saying this. So I write and I have to be very careful.
Right.
Because people tend to become more offended nowadays.
Right.
And so, have you noticed this? That, or is it something which happens, say, like a crest and a trough, and we maybe are going to one of those low points? So, this is the lowest point yet.
It's always happened. This thing about tolerance, yeah, it's always happened. There have been times in the 70s when people were kind of jailed for being a cartoonist or being a writer, or right. So we're talking about the emergency. There were times then that people were just straight jailed, and uh, there have been newspaper items where you had a long headline, and they get back to you saying cut the headline down because it's meaning something else, and then you cut it down by 2 words more, and then but still try to retain the meaning, and finally they say no, not allowed. So this has been happening. But if you have to say something, please say it. Please say it. At least you guys, the younger generation, should say things that they think they should. Don't stop yourselves from saying things, right?
So how is the ways for dark humor? What are the takers? Like I find the maximum takers I found was in TIFR.
For what? Dark humor?
So do you find takers for dark humor in the normal population? Normal, I mean, even less.
I don't know. I I grew up reading a lot of comic books and definitely not dark humor, but yeah, I probably my humor, the kind of humor that I would like to dabble with, may or may not touch people of all ages. So that's something I don't know, and of all genres of humor. I just say what I have to, and if some people find that okay, then they give me a smile. If not, I don't know. It's going to be tough for me because in the next few months, I, yeah, next few months I'm going to actually start cartooning for the Times of India. So as a daily cartoonist, and also for India Today. So I don't know how it's going to be. It sounds exciting now, but I really don't know how it's going to be. They recently had an All India kind of a contest where they were trying to look for the next cartoonist for this thing. So happens that I happen to be one of them. So that's. But the thing is, I'm skeptical. The same question that you asked. I don't know. You send something, editor sends back, or someone else sends back. There's backlash, all that. But that'll be the fun, right? Let's see. Yeah.
Thanks for your talk, sir. Actually, this is the first time I'm attending a talk by your cartoonist, so it was really new and amazing experience for me. I want to ask this one question. Your cartoons or your paintings consist of individuals and then it consists of a situation. So you draw individuals as individuals and then you draw the individuals in a situation. So when you take up the pen to draw, do you think of the individual first or the situation? Because sometimes it becomes very difficult to connect either way. So you go from one to the other. So which do you think first? What comes to your mind?
Yeah, well, it's been both ways. I've had in some of my drawings, I just started off doodling, okay, mindless doodling, so to speak, and you just see where it's going, and you're surprised yourself with what's happening out there on paper. You just take the pen and just let it go on the sheet of paper. Just let it take its own, and then at the end of it, you see it taking shape into something. Okay, several of them were done that way, and some of them were done thinking of a situation. But in most cases, thinking of a situation in drawing did not work out as well as uh, going impromptu, just going and doing something out there, right? So I doodle, so that's the reason why it just took shape. This is the first time that I'm talking in front of a science group. Uh, Very happy to be here, actually. Yeah, please.
Animation has been entirely taken over by computer graphics.
I'm sorry, sir.
Animation has been entirely taken over by computer graphics now, but also your art, right? It's still done with the pen, right? Art, the computers making and improving that. That's one thing. And the second question I have is, being short is an extreme thing, but India also has such strange libel laws and defamation suits, and if you say you're cartoonist of Times of India, priorities and prerogatives of the publishing house, right? So how do you navigate all of this?
I understand. I don't know yet. I'll try to take your first question first, and he's asking about computer graphics taking over traditional art. Uh, yeah, I started out doing traditional art, okay, and then I do a lot of art on the computer. Many of those drawings that you saw were directly drawn into the computer, okay. So there's a certain feel to that. There's a certain feel to traditional art. Personally, I love traditional art. Though I use 80% nowadays, all my professional work I do using computers, but I still have this soft corner for the traditional art. Uh, it's simple. It's like you're in touch with your medium and you're holding it. Like at the end of a painting, you have paint sticking to you. It's a real thing, right? Your paint sticking to your fingers. You don't have pixels sticking, right? You don't have pixels sticking. So you kind of and you put the machine off, you put your computer off, you don't know where your artwork is. It's just vanished into, I don't know where, right? So this is a real thing. This is like you're holding it, it's tangible. So I feel, I lean towards traditional art. So the best I can do is start on paper, draw it, and then scan it, and then take it and finish it in the computer because it's faster there. And your second question was about how you're going to. Yeah, I know. You always have to report to the editor, and it's the newspaper's editorial. It's the voice of the newspaper. Uh, in certain cases, they gave a free rein to the cartoonist. Uh, in the case of R.K. Lakshman, it was definitely and you do what you feel like. This part of the newspaper is yours, right? I don't think that kind of space is being given to cartoonists anymore. The space given to cartoonists is going lesser and lesser because you can fill it up with people who pay money to do ads in that. And so you quickly say something that's really not so relevant. It's okay. Be neutral. So you understand. So it's going to be a fight. But yet, I think somebody has to do this. There are serious cartoonists in India. I really think, especially places like Kerala and West Bengal, the best cartoonists in India were produced from these places because something about the atmosphere out there, the political atmosphere that came up from these two states, especially. I think one will face these things. But the good thing that has happened since the time that I was a student to now is that you don't really need a publisher. Uh, you can publish your own cartoons and you get a following and you slowly build up on that following. That's the best thing that is there right now for everybody. Because if you're a writer, you just start a blog and write. You don't have to run around publishing houses and show samples of your work and get it. You write what's inside you, just bring it out. You draw, you say something. So that way, everybody is a publishing house, everybody is a television station, everybody is, an artist. So that's a good thing right now. Yeah.
Have you wondered what is it that makes you so obsessed about drawing clouds with such detail?
Yeah. Maybe I'm mad or something. I don't know. Maybe this series, the last 5 years, especially, this is what I was especially obsessed with. Maybe I'll try different things for my next book. Uh, as of now, this I wanted to get it. See, it happens like this for all of us. There is some project that we want to do and that bothers us. It could be a research project, it could be anything that bothers us, and you want to bring it out of your system, right? It could end up in a paper that's published or probably something else or a book that's made. Or you just want to bring it out of you. And once you bring it out, you're like exhausted and you move on to other things, right? I think I'm at that stage right now. It's not that I'm going to do this for life. It happened over the last 5 years and it fell into place for a certain project. I love making these crowds. I do have certain idols in terms of as illustrators who I follow, who are fantastic crowd illustrators. There's one called Sergio Aragones. You should follow his work. He's fantastic. If you have read the Mad comics, uh, that's the guy to follow. Okay? So this is over now. This has just come out of the system. Thank you.
Hi sir, thank you for such a wonderful presentation.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I just wanted to ask you this. You said that art is for you an obsession, I have it, and just wanted to get it out of your system sometimes. So we go through different emotions, right? We're sad, we're happy, we're angry. So there were some crowds here. In one crowd, everyone was angry. In in one crowd, everyone was happy. So, were you angry at that time when you took that acting?
No.
Because you just wanted to get out of the system and say, like, you're angry, so let your pictures be angry.
I understand, yeah, that makes sense, but no, I'm not too sure that was the case. I told you, I try to stay away from what I'm drawing. It's just my observation, my comment, that's all. I could be angry with the system right now, but I'm really not wanting to show that anger through my drawings. No. Thanks, that was a good question. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So I really enjoyed your nice presentation on the pictorial summary of India. But I have a very stupid question to ask you.
Sure.
Very stupid. So how do you actually take up, symbolism in your actual cartoons? For example, I mean, in the picture where you showed that this election campaign is going on, you choose a brush as a symbol. So is it like, so these are all very symbolic. And one more thing where you showed a picture having a coded as a afternoon 3 p.m.
Right.
Simon Garfunkel. So
Yeah.
how do you take up this symbolism?
I don't know. There was no real thought, but I do find many election symbols very crazy. If you can have a broom, you can have a toothbrush, right? You can, I don't know, for that matter, you could have anything. So I find it very crazy, these election symbols, because they're running out of election symbols right now. That's what I feel. They're totally running out. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next few symbols are actually derogatory. So it could be that way. So I don't know. It just came to me that it's a toothbrush, and I thought an evolution is from a neem stick to a toothbrush. So probably that's the only progress that he has ever shown, right? So, thank you. Thanks. Thanks very much.
Any more questions? I think Prof. Tetali will be here for a while.
Yeah, I'm around, but I would like to definitely take this opportunity to thank Rahul, TIFR, and everybody who was involved in this. I really enjoyed this. And I also wanted to tell you, see, listen, creativity is something that doesn't come as a bolt from the sky on only certain selected people. No, it's something that if you are observant, if you see things around you, if you just open your eyes to things, there are stories happening around you. It'll help in your own research, or you'll get the solutions. The solutions are all around you. It's just that you have to open your eyes and see. That is one. Another thing is, I really would like to thank all of you. I know that it's a long weekend coming, and I really appreciate the fact that you came and spent this time out here. Thank you very much.